Questions?
Thomas, Chris spoke about no major changes, kind of just sticking to the routine, trying to stay in the routine. How do you change the trajectory of what the offense has been able to do without any major shakeup?
To me, I think it's very simple. Just going back to work, being more detailed, being more decisive when it comes to decision makers, when it comes to our players and what the spots we put those guys in. But overall, just being able to get our guys to just relax and go cut it loose. I think I kind of addressed the guy yesterday as far as a feeling of sometimes being wound up too tight or afraid to make mistakes, and just get these guys back to having fun, being confident, playing good ball.
What will you do a little differently now that you have a little more control?
We'll find it on Sunday. So just focus on, obviously today's going to be a big third down day, so being able to just work on situational excellence when it comes to all our D&Ds of third and short to 2 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 10, 11 plus. And so got done with a great walkthrough, so looking forward to practice.
I know you don't want to get into too many. What examples have you seen of Coach Tabor that's kind of loosened things up so far?
I think just overall personality in general. I think just him being himself, which is awesome to be kind of have him in that role to be able to kind of put his imprint on his new opportunity for himself, but also for all of us, is just being able to everybody do a really good job of communicating, be on the same page, and just get back to work.
Coach, I know you don't want to go into too much of the background, but the play calling mulligan, was that one of the tipping points of Reich's dismissal?
I have no idea. That's a question for somebody else.
What about you personally? Was it with your relationship with Reich? How was that during the?
I mean, personally, I'm always focused on my job. I think when it comes to how much time we spend together as coaches, as players, always going to be emotions that kind of be involved when it comes to who you work with, how much time you spend with them. But at the end of the day, it's not about feelings. It's about us having a job to do. So I'm focused on that job and ready to move forward.
What would you say Frank's impact was on you during your short time together?
That's kind of a loaded question. I think, again, very fortunate for the opportunity that he gave me, provided for me to first be in this role, have an opportunity to kind of work alongside him and kind of grow from that standpoint. But I think it's always a evolving process. And I just try to be reflective of everybody I'm around when it comes to what I learned, how much I absorb, and try to do a really good job of contributing to be my best every day for them.
How important is Parks now taking over Josh's role and that relationship with Bryce?
I mean, it's huge. I think the good thing is, Parks has been there the entire time. So I was mainly in the quarterback room for the most part with Josh and also Parks as well. And from a game plan standpoint, there's no one I spend more time with than Parks when it comes to normal down and distance to third down to 2 minutes. So we'll still do a really good job of collaborating together, as well as the rest of the staff as well.
I'm sorry, just for idiots like me, just the biggest difference between moving from passing game coordinator to quarterback's coach, like in terms of assuming more responsibilities, what would the biggest responsibility be?
Yeah, it's more having an opportunity to move forward into being in control of that room when it comes to the meetings, the structure, to running drills, to running practice. But as far as how we install the unit, as we kind of collaborate together, kind of for the most part, stays the same.
Your collaboration with Jim Caldwell, what does that look like?
It's growing more than it was before, obviously, because of him kind of moving more into this advisory role, which is somewhat I've used, in my opinion, anyways, as advisor before even kind of having the shift. But definitely fortunate to have him a part of our staff, to be able to kind of communicate with him, pick his brain on a number of different topics, from just the overall business to life in general. So it's definitely a pleasure to be around him every day.
Did you get a chance to talk to Frank? And just wondering if you sort of saw this coming at all over the last few weeks.
I mean, we live in a production business, so I think we all understand what we kind of sign up for. I always approach, since I started coaching back in 2011, and my job is on the line every single day. So I kind of work with that mentality of trying to maximize what I can control, and I don't worry about everything I can't, because it's really a waste of time. I think everything else, as far as our dynamic, I'll just keep private between the two of us. So.
As far as scouting Tampa, what have you noticed about their defense? Obviously, they're having a little rough go the last couple of games, but what have you noticed?
I mean, they're very talented. I mean, they do a lot from a defensive standpoint when it comes to how they match you personnel-wise. Got to prepare for their base defense, for their nickel, and also what we call their penny front structures when they end up bringing in 3 interior big D linemen, 2 outside backers, 1 inside backer, and then having those 4 DBs with the nickels and the safeties as well. So I think being able to have a clear, concise game plan that kind of fits all those things. But these guys do a great job running to the football, tackling well, and we've got to do a great job when it comes to recognizing their front structures, but also their coverage they give us as well.
Sounds So with the receivers in particular, are there things over the next 6 weeks that you guys can kind of unlock a little bit for them?
I think it's about not just the receivers, but our entire group in general, coaches as well, just challenging ourselves to be at our best every single day, right? Not making excuses, right? The pass to pass. Talked about yesterday when I started the unit meeting of being able to have like a chance for new beginnings, a new opportunity to kind of imprint ourselves and kind of move forward. So just excited about that, looking forward to the opportunity.
What will your approach be with Bryce that might be a little different? And, you know, are you going to take kind of a different tack to unlock some things with him?
Well, I think I try to pride myself on being a pretty consistent person. So I'm looking forward to continuing to try to find ways to collaborate with him, but also the rest of our players as well. And my overall goal is to educate, to inform, to inspire, but also put those guys in the best spot so on game day they can play confident and cut it loose. Don't worry about anything else.
I understand that. I just mean you're going to be working more directly with Bryce, it sounds like. What do you
Well, having to divvy up my time because I'm also having to coach running backs too as well. So that's going to be an extra thing from a play standpoint. But we'll still communicate the way we've been doing before. We'll have a chance to sit down and talk about the call sheet where we have our dot meetings. We kind of organize priority-wise from a call standpoint in the game. But I lean heavily on him, but also Parks as well, and Coach Caldwell in that role.
What do you want to change with what the running back group has done so far, and why do you think Deuce Staley was let go as part of this kind of restructure?
Second question I can't answer. As far as where the change comes, I think of being able to try to, because obviously Deuce and I collaborate a lot when it comes to how we communicate in that room. But again, just focus on being able to try to be at my best for those guys, to bring out the best in them, and try to find ways to get those guys involved as much as possible throughout the entire game.
You referenced it a few times. Coach Tabor yesterday about playing loose, the concept of playing loose.
Yeah.
How do you do that? What allows you to do that?
Well, it starts with preparation first. Right? We live in like a pressure-driven business, so pressure is every day, but also think about pressure being a privilege. I think when it comes to stress comes from when you don't do a really good job of preparing and anticipating what the pressure comes with this business in general. So I think being able to inspire our guys, be confident, be a great communicator, but stacking days to get to back-to-back when it comes to the Monday through Saturday to get ready to go play ball. So I think it's about being able to bring out demeanor from a coaching staff standpoint, bring energy, and inspire those guys to play, not carefree, but play fear-free.
Back on Tabor, what examples could you give of maybe in practice or a team meeting where he's kind of brought in a joke or something lighthearted to loosen things up?
Well, like I said before, Tape is himself. You guys have been around him a lot, which I love about him and his overall approach. But I think in general, he has done a great job of kind of balancing, being stern, being direct, being clear and concise as far as the message goes, but also being able to have a loose environment as well.
When you were in LA last year, I think it was the first game after Wilkes had taken over here. Did you kind of follow, I know you guys beat them pretty handily that day, but did you follow what he was able to do in his interim time? And is there anything from that stint that you guys would draw from?
Well, I think last year is last year. I did have a chance to kind of, like I follow a lot of teams around the league, but just kind of watching, I think we caught them in the right time last year with it being the first game as far as the change comes. But identity shift, being more physical when it comes to running the football and controlling line of scrimmage as well. But again, last year was last year. We'll focus on moving forward for this year.
Understanding there won't be a dramatic overhaul, but there will be changes. How do you balance making those changes without it being overwhelming on the guys and on Bryce?
I think it's about being able to try to put our guys in the best spot to be successful. So I think when you talk about change, it's about what helps us to give us a chance week in and week out with the guys we have active to go win a football game.
Will the new guards you guys signed, Gabe, and then bringing back Deontay, would they have an opportunity to play this week?
Every healthy player we have on our roster is going to be up for discussion and have an opportunity to go compete for an opportunity to go play.
What do you know about Gabe in particular?
It's a large human that moves people. So, he just got here yesterday, so I don't know a ton about him, but that kind of sticks out when he walks in the room. So I do like that.
You all need some more of those types of guys? Because Deontay's kind of built the same way.
Yeah. Again, I think it's about trying to find out how to get the best roster together and work with who we have. We have more than enough for sure. And inspire the group, lead the group, and again, on game day, go cut it loose. Go have fun, go play ball.
Coach, can you just speak to the overall locker room atmosphere and reaction to the firing? And I know they're pros, it's not the first time they've been through this, how they're going into Tampa Bay.
I think everybody handles it differently. That's coaches and players. But again, I think we all understand what we signed up for. We do make connections. Those are kind of tough when it comes to when there's moving parts, guys shifting in different roles. But we are together. We are united. And the guys have been upbeat from that first meeting to kind of moving forward about the new opportunities.